So let's move on to the next question, guys. In this question, we are given that x minus 1 whole square is less than equal to 1 and x square minus 1 is greater than 0, and we have to compare mod of x minus 1 and 1, right? So, I mean, there is a simple way to solve this question, but I'll try to go into a little detail so that you understand the concept, and if you encounter any other complex question, then you can easily solve that as well, right? So tell me one thing. First, let's solve this question, right? This equation. So x minus 1 square is less than equal to 1, right? This is given to us. So let's try to solve this. So let's bring 1 to this side. So x minus 1 whole square minus 1 square is less than equal to 0. I hope this should be fine. So what is this? A square minus b square. So this becomes a minus b, which is x minus 1 minus 1. So x minus 2 and a plus b. So x minus 1 plus 1, it becomes x less than equal to 0. I hope this should be fine, right? Now I've already told you in the inequalities chapter how to solve such inequalities. So what we do is that we make a number line and we make this equal to 0 and we make this equal to 0. So when we make this equal to 0, this will be how much? X minus 2 is equal to 0. So x equals to 2. So we get a point 2. When x equals to 0, so x is 0, right? And then we form a shape like this. So we start from the rightmost part, we go down at this point, we go down and then we go like this. So this is plus, this is minus, this is plus. This is always true. The rightmost side will always be plus, then minus, then plus alternatively, right? Now we know that we have to come up with less than equal to 0. So less than equal to 0 means we have to look for the negative sign. So the negative sign is between the bracket 0 and 2. That means the value of x lies between 0 and 2. I hope this should be clear. So basically what I mean is that if you solve this equation, this is the given equation, right? So if you solve this equation, you will have this as the answer, that x, the value of x is between 0 and 2, both inclusive, because there is equal to sign. So 0 and 2 both inclusive, right? I hope this should be clear. So we can write one of the results as x belongs to 0, 2. I hope this should be fine, right? Okay. Now let's try and take the other equation. So what is the next equation? The next equation is x square minus 1 is greater than 0, right? So x square minus 1 is greater than 0. So this is a square minus b square again. So x minus 1, x plus 1 is greater than 0, right? So again the same thing. These are two numbers. So what we do is that we form a number line. We make this one equal to 0. So if this is equal to 0, so x will be 1. So we write 1 here. If we make this equals to 0, so this will be x equals to minus 1. So we write minus 1 over here, right? And then again we make this sort of shape, right? And we always start with plus. So plus minus plus, right? But now we have the case that it is greater than 0. So we will take the positive signs, right? So x belongs to, what is this? This is minus infinity. This is basically 0, right? Over here somewhere it is 0. So this is plus infinity and this is minus infinity. So this means that this is plus infinity, this is minus infinity. So the value of x for the positive part is between minus infinity to minus 1, minus infinity to minus 1 till here, right? Union how much? Plus 1, this is plus 1, right? So plus 1 to plus infinity. So plus 1 to plus infinity. I hope this should be easy to understand. If the case would be negative, then we would take this. If the case is positive, then we will take this part and this part, right? So this part means minus infinity to minus 1 and plus 1 to plus infinity. I hope this should be easy to understand, or basic to understand. So this means that x, so okay, so now we can erase this and we can write that x belongs to minus infinity to minus 1 union 1 to infinity, right? I hope this should be fine. So one possible value of x is this, and the not possible value, possible solution. Though, so one possible solution of x is this, and the other possible solution of x is this, right? So now in these two things, we have to take the intersection, right? Because we have to satisfy both the things, because both the things are true. So we have to take the value of x such that it satisfies both of these things, right? Again, now if I form a number line, so this is minus 1, right? This is 0, this is 1, and this is 2, right? Okay. So the value of x over here is minus infinity to minus 1, which means the value is like this, and 1 to infinity. So the value is like this, right? And over here, the value is between 0 and 2. That means what is the value? The value over here is between 0 and 2. So the value is this, right? So what is the common part? You can see the common part is this part. This is the common part. Rest, this part is not common, this part is not common, this part is not common. The only common part is this. That is between 1 and 2, right? So that means x belongs to 1 and 2. X belongs to 1 and 2 is the only possible part. I hope this makes sense, right? So this is the final solution for you. Now we had to answer mod of x minus 1, right? So tell me one thing, the value of x belongs between 1 and 2, right? So if we take 1.5 over here, the answer will be what? 0.5. So if we take x to be 1.5, then what will be mod of x minus 1? Mod of x minus 1 will be 0.5, which is less than 1, right? So the answer is B in this case, because this is greater. But if we take x equals to 2, because x equal to 2 is also possible, then mod of x minus 1 will be how much? 2 minus 1, which is equal to 1. So the answer is C, right? You can see also that x equal to 2 satisfies both of these equations. If you put x equal to over here, so 2 to the power 2 is 4, 4 minus 1, 3. 3 is greater than 0, absolutely satisfies. If you put x equals to 2 over here, so 2 minus 1 is how much? 1. 1 square is 1. 1 is less than equal to 1, absolutely true. So basically, these two solutions, these two values of x are satisfying both of these equations. So we can take these values of x. So when we take this value of x, we get the answer B. When we take this value of x, we get the answer C. So sometimes the answer is B, sometimes the answer is C. So the final answer becomes D. I hope this should be clear. So this was a little lengthy approach. What you can also do is that you can directly put values of x over here and see if the solution is true or not. But a lot of other questions, you will have to solve this way. So it's better to practice by this approach so that you can solve any kind of question you encounter. And it might look that it is kind of lengthy, but when you actually practice, you can actually do it within 20 to 30 seconds. So it should not take much time. I hope this should be clear.